In a shocking turn of events, ProPublica, a non-profit news organization dedicated to uncovering abuses of power, has revealed that Indian pharmaceutical giant Sun Pharma has been making false promises to the FDA for years. This revelation casts a dark shadow over the company's commitment to safety and raises serious concerns about the integrity of the generic drugs it supplies to the U.S. market. Sun Pharma, known for being one of India's leading generic drug manufacturers, had assured the FDA in 2015 that it would take aggressive measures to rectify serious violations found at its Halol factory in India. These violations included failure to follow basic rules to prevent contamination of injectable drugs, inability to determine the toxicity of unknown impurities in medication, and poor maintenance of the factory, which posed significant risks to drug safety. However, despite these promises, the FDA did little to warn the public or halt the influx of Sun Pharma's drugs into the United States for 8 long years. The correspondence between Sun Pharma and the FDA obtained by ProPublica offers a rare insight into the secretive interactions between a global drug maker and the U.S. regulator tasked with safeguarding consumers from hazardous medications. The documents reveal the FDA's leniency towards Sun Pharma's broken promises and subpar manufacturing practices, allowing a steady stream of generic drugs to reach the American public, who were eager for affordable medication. In 2015, the FDA labeled the factory's products as adulterated, indicating that they were produced under conditions that could compromise their strength, quality, and purity. Yet it wasn't until late 2022 that the agency finally imposed an import ban on the Halol factory, and even then, it granted exemptions to more than a dozen medications, allowing Sun Pharma to continue shipping those drugs to the U.S. with minimal restrictions and no routine FDA testing. Dinesh Thakur, a prominent industry whistleblower and drug safety advocate, questioned the FDA's decision to repeatedly give Sun Pharma a pass, stating, "Would you trust somebody who repeatedly lies to you?" He emphasized the inherent risk in continuously overlooking Sun Pharma's failures and the potential harm to patients. Since 2013, the FDA has granted similar exemptions to over 20 foreign factories banned from the U.S. market, utilizing a lesser-known practice to prevent drug shortages. This has resulted in the shipment of antibiotics, anti-seizure drugs, and chemotherapy treatments from these plants, even after critical violations were identified in their manufacturing processes. Overall, more than 150 drugs or their ingredients have received such exemptions. Despite the FDA's requirement for extra testing of exempted drugs with third-party oversight before they are exported to the U.S., ProPublica's analysis of the agency's records exposes the potential weaknesses of this system. Some companies were caught providing unreliable testing records to the FDA prior to receiving exemptions. Moreover, FDA inspectors found that Sun Pharma's Halol factory repeatedly ignored test results indicating drug contamination. In 2019, inspectors also discovered that Sun Pharma employees could access computer systems without oversight and manipulate microbiological test results to potentially conceal troubling findings. The FDA has remained tight-lipped about the specifics of the Sun factory situation, the decision to delay the import ban for 8 years, and the subsequent exemptions. When asked about the safety of drugs exempted from Sun Pharma's Halol plant and other factories, the agency did not provide a direct answer, stating that companies are required to conduct additional testing to ensure consumer safety. However, the potential flaws in this system raise doubts about the effectiveness of such measures. Since the initial inspection in 2014, the FDA has received numerous reports from doctors and others expressing concerns about the drugs produced at Sun Pharma's Halol factory and other plants. These reports detail potential contamination, quality issues, and unexplained health problems experienced by patients. While the FDA cautions that the reported outcomes may not necessarily be linked to the drugs or could be unexpected side effects, drug safety experts assert that without further investigation, it is impossible to determine the exact cause of these adverse events. Sun Pharma, for its part, has consistently maintained that it has upgraded the Halol facility, collaborated with manufacturing consultants, and conducted testing to confirm the safety and efficacy of the drugs produced there. The company asserts that adherence to quality standards is its top priority and that it is committed to achieving full resolution of any FDA regulatory issues at its facilities. However, these reassurances echo the same promises Sun Pharma has made for years, leaving many questioning the sincerity and effectiveness of its efforts. The saga of Sun Pharma's broken promises highlights the challenges faced by regulators in ensuring the safety and integrity of the global drug supply chain. It underscores the importance of rigorous oversight and the need for transparency in the pharmaceutical industry, especially when public health is at stake.